Peace FM 104.3. Who to me take?
Statement no makane no na dam part no emeyi kakra. Was the E-Levy no yengi infi ho.
No, somebody to hold.
Oh, you're fun to hold.
Moyende.
Well, in that sense, I can above a backer. Then I can understand. But the impression I mean, you there be as a dama. You know, NDC for time a budget approval was warranted budget. You can't from me.
There be any impression.
How long time we me clear?
O share the nyai.
And now, was that there? Procedure na ye kutrua ye de rise na or ye whether to take the budget or the bill under a certificate of urgency. Another ye treating as a normal bill.
Okay.
Oboko through the regular processes in not in one day, if you like. Wasn't there say bill committee determined there it should be taken under a certificate of urgency. Yeah, processes of second reading, consideration, third reading now in one day. And see, at that point, now disagreement in this year, yentumi answer and see you defend for the second session of Parliament. Nami aduma next week Tuesday. Yabako akashasi. Nana
Baba.
Oya reho ewa. Ozande the propaganda or surround the E-Levy passage no. Or they yet to me yet na you take a step back. Na yes whether the motives are uncomfortable object to them E-Levy or ye altruistic or ye nationalistic and or ye patriotic. Another or ye mischievous or ye pure politicking. Ozan they say to me make the assessment now. Then we are not making progress. On your boko in circles the ma. Only then Nana Doran Kwakufu Adona ban Ghana for what to Abaman 2017. Ye ben na about to a certain economic reality. Na yen indicators ni na was not right. In fact, na were under an IMF program. At the time yaba banum no 18 months while lapse under the IMF program no. Benchmarks are previous government on your World Bank agreeing no. They hadn't met even one. And see, as part of the conversations with the IMF, it became necessary. Or they extended by a year or so, running up to the end of the fiscal year. And the IMF were pulling out at that point. Taban G2. And we embarked on a consensus plan to meet critical benchmarks that enabled us to exit 18 months after we came into government. Yen economic indicators now started looking in the right direction. Debt to GDP was brought within control. Budget deficit under 5%. Economic growth picked up from the low 2.4 to an average of 7% 2017, 2018, 2019. Global multinationals and now intergovernmental agencies, IMF, World Bank, na no can win na ratings agencies in Ghana was touted as the fastest growing country in sub-Saharan Africa. In fact, the end position crowd globally was in the top 5. 2020, you call Euro bond. Bekea, in the first quarter, we raised $3 billion at the lowest rate for the longest tenure. Was under the confidence in our economy was growing, because consistently over 3 years, now your GDP growth rate positive. Oh, yeah, I'm say, oh, now there be okay GDP. Now it doesn't reflect in people's pocket. On reflecting people's pocket, to send there consistently in the past, no, yeah, construct a crack. Play at it swab foam. In fact, in 2011, thereabout, Ghana grew by in excess of 11%. The following year, they had to yaba 4 point BB. They call 5 point BB. They have 2 point. There was no consistency. GDP so when grow consistently, then it doesn't translate down into a consistent growth in GDP now over time, or reflect at the micro level, or reflect one kofu one kutokum. Until everything pointed to a government that was doing things right. Average 7%. Then COVID hit. And I pen and read article here. FQ Michelle or Sunday Bram. 7 reasons why goods and services, prices of goods and services across the world.
COVID-19.
Thank you very much. But that's the reality. UK alone, they borrowed trillions of dollars just so that they can protect their citizens. COVID hit. In fact, article no there, even the global supply chain and the cost of transportation. Container from Asia to UK, it costs £1,200. And down in them £17,000, 40-footer container. And so what will happen? It would affect prices of goods and services in the country. COVID hit. Abandoned revenue took a hit. Sharp decline. Meanwhile, no, you needed to protect lives and livelihoods. And see, Aban had to expend over and above budget. Why? Say, expend more when your revenue too is not coming in. Your only option that is available to you is to borrow. And the government went ahead to borrow. So, okay, one of the statements His Excellency the President would deliver in his numerous speeches to the people of Ghana. Also, we know how to bring back the economy, but human lives, we do not know how to bring them back. And see, Aban had to do more to ensure that our country does not grind to a halt. Social expenditure had to be sustained. Business support, cap boost, was initiated. Government had to provide water and electricity at great cost, just so that people will not lose their lives, their livelihoods. all that cost money. Of course, between 2018, 19, financial sector, the mess that the previous government had left, the huge sums of money that Ofi government chest by way of liquidity support and Kofu were blown there was no tomorrow. Government had to look for money to bail and save some of those banks, just so that in excess of 4 million Ghanaians on deposits will be saving. And the payer doc allude to UMB investment. Yes. In the very unlikely event, and I don't know the details, that if he goes down, his investment will be lost. That was where we found ourselves in 2018, 2019. Millions of people. Government had to save them. Energy sector. Power purchase agreements was signed. Nana, most recent figures in Chile. Of course, increasingly we are consuming some of the excess power. But we still pay for huge megawatts of power that we don't need. ECG now was signing a contract to Zampara, but they don't have the resources to pay. So at all times they have to fall on the finance ministry, the public chest. All these sums of money has to be paid. Inti say total government revenue nano right from the get-go, first. One of the statements are now fresh MP was Harida Idrusu. Where's the fiscal space? You say you do free SHS, you do this, you do planting for food, we do this, you do this. Where's the fiscal space? At the time, total tax revenue was consumed, 96 or 97% of it was consumed by only 3 items: wages and salaries, interest payments, non-statutory funds. But the finance ministry found a way through the Capping and Earmark Funds Act to create space just so that we can fund these critical social intervention policies for the good people of our country. As a new fiscal space. Of course, or realize Nana how much you pay. No one will get there. As some again, we don't see now, but premise my some making now with on into the matter background no. Or send they say and situate issues no in their proper context. Obi jinechi no jindo NDC for can on gospel.
The China pen this one can say.
Oh, they don't have to speak on the pay. Wakasa from the day our budget will ready 17th November till then. Still our wakasa. Next still one boycott of Peace FM. Whoa. I see. So we just born. Nanka in your opportunity now what's na hand expose one. But I can't tricks no because they don't want to be held accountable by some worker. And the stations all feel that way objective, critical in one analysis no one back.
But honorable correction. One boycott 2 Peace FM.
One boycott anything.
Kukuruko. Check odo nyumira waba program.
The other programs you know muba. It's only Kokroko.
It's only Kokroko.
Check Kokroko, a very critical, analytic program. Unbelievable. And see, them Sika Aban was spending 9 Ye do baby yen debt wako to a level yako beyond BMA oba how yen. Obi so one kwa IMF ya kwa IMF eke then yakobo bosa na wa me conditions the increase revenue, cut away expenditure, public sector employment cut, do public sector rationalization, sack and coffee no one gets nefie. IMF ya kwa prescriptions there in him. Interbancy, okay, CCR investment here were electronic platforms. Of course, with the support of yen telcos. Electronic transactions, be more most tax handles, traditional, is moving there. Transactions, do na for and online. Last time I call DSTV, them go to Ghana Water Crown and say one office.
Yeah.
Mobile money, maybe are the transactions. You know, no me fitafu or informal. That's where people pay them. What or one part, that's how they pay. You know, no carpenter for or got on India, mobile money no audit. All of them are not within the tax bracket. In fact, out of 30 million Ghanaians, only 2.4 pay what we are direct taxes. Of course, I ban one start to an more P to formalize yen economy. And they are excited. Bank of Ghana will issue statement. The Ghana card on the pen obey the idea able to make that banking transaction. Why?
From July.
Why? Because Obia or Ghana card Nibia, government will have the data on everybody. Obotum we use that means no one leverage ma Obia no contribution be although make biano we make. No significantly Abonobotum will identify the vulnerable. The way to we provide one support.
Honorable.
Peace FM 104.3. Who to me, Taki?